Hello everyone, this is Manish Yadav, your English teacher, and today we are going to start a new chapter. This is fifth chapter of Flamingo book, class 12th. Indigo. Indigo has been narrated by Louis Fisher. He belongs to British. He has narrated this chapter about Mahatma Gandhi. He had a meeting with him. Whatever he was told by Mahatma Gandhi, he has narrated in this chapter. The incident which took place in 1942 with Mahatma Gandhi has been described in this chapter, in which Mahatma Gandhi tells Louis Fisher about an incident which took place in his life. When Mahatma Gandhi came back to India after completing his education, a national congress invention was going on in which he was met by a poor peasant whose name was Mr. Rajkumar Shukla. Mr. Rajkumar Shukla belongs to Champaran. He was a farmer. In this chapter, we'll study how poor peasants of Champaran forcibly enforced to grow indigo plants. All the land of Champaran was captured, seized by Britishers. They were landlords, and the workmen who worked in the fields were Indian poor peasants. Mr. Rajkumar Shukla was an illiterate man. He was not well educated. He daren't to appeal in the court for appealing his case so that they will not be suffering from such contract. Let's talk about the writer of this chapter, Louis Fisher. Louis Fisher was born in 1896 and he was died in 1970. He was a Britisher. He was born in Philadelphia. He served himself as army, British Army between 1918 to 1920. Fisher made a career of journalist and wrote the New York Times. It is a great collection of thoughts and stories. The Saturday Review and for European and Asian publications. Louis Fisher wrote so many books as we have studied two books in the forementioned lines. He used to write for European and Asian publications. He was also a member of faculty at Princeton University. The following as an excerpt from his book, The Life of Mahatma Gandhi. In this collection, he has written so many incidents admiring, appreciating the efforts and struggles of Mahatma Gandhi. This story is one of them. Louis Fisher had a meeting with Mahatma Gandhi in 1942 before the independence of India. As we all know that our India got freedom in 1947, this story revolves in 1942. What happens next? Let's talk about the paragraph and we'll go through line by line explaining the text. You need to keep your textbook before you while I go through the explanation. When I first visited, I am going to start the first and very first line of first paragraph. When I first visited Gandhiji in 1942 at his ashram in Sevagram, in central India. He said, I'll tell you how it happened that I decided to urge the departure of the British. It was in 1970. I refer to the narrator of this chapter, Louis Fisher. When he went to meet Gandhiji in 1942 at his ashram that was situated in Sevagram in central India, he said, who said? Gandhiji said, I'll tell you. Gandhiji tells him how he urged the departure of British, how the incident took place that Mahatma Gandhiji thinks to give a departure to the Britishers from India. It was in 1970. What happened? He had gone to the December 1916 annual convention of the Indian National Congress Party. Gandhiji was attending in 1916 the annual convention of Indian National Congress Party. The ceremony was going on in Lucknow. There were 2,301 delegates and many visitors. What was the crowd over there? At least 2,301 delegates, the member of parliament, and many visitors came there to attend the convention. During the proceedings, Gandhiji recounted a peasant came up to me and said, I am Rajkumar Shukla, I am from Champaran. Gandhiji tells Louis Fisher that at the time of proceeding the meeting, a poor peasant came up to me. I was met by a poor peasant. He introduced himself as Rajkumar Shukla. He told me that he belongs to Champaran. Gandhiji tells Louis Fisher कि मैं कन्वेंशन के शुरुआत में एक गरीब किसान मेरे पास आता है, मुझसे बताता है कि मैं राजकुमार शुक्ला और मैं चंपारण डिस्ट्रिक्ट से बिलोंग करता हूँ, and I want you to come to my district. And he also requested Gandhiji to come to his own district, Champaran. Gandhiji had never heard of this place. It was in the foothills of the towering Himalayas. Gandhiji was completely unknown to the place where Rajkumar Shukla belongs to. जहां से राजकुमार शुक्ला बिलोंग करते थे, उस प्लेस के बारे में गांधी जी बिल्कुल अननोन थे. He was completely unknown. He doesn't know. He never heard of such place. This place is situated in the foothills of towering Himalayas. Means lower elevation or down part of Himalaya, which is towering vertically upward, and near the kingdom of Nepal. This Champaran is located near the kingdom of Nepal. Under an ancient arrangement, the Champaran peasants were sharecroppers. Under an ancient, very old arrangement, the Champaran peasants, all the farmers belonging to Champaran, had been once sharecroppers. वो sharecroppers हुआ करते थे. Rajkumar Shukla was one of them. The peasant who met Gandhiji in Lucknow was one of them. ये भी उनमें से एक था. Sharecroppers क्या होते हैं? In those days, when Britishers had been landlords, they hired some Indian peasants to grow indigo plants in the field, and they had to grow at least 15% of lands of indigo, and they were being paid nothing. और उसके बदले उनको कुछ पे भी नहीं किया जाता था, सब कुछ उनको ब्रिटिशर्स को दे देना था, उस 15% का जो इंडिगो क्रॉप था. अब राजकुमार शुक्ला was one of them. He was illiterate but resolute. Rajkumar Shukla was illiterate. He was uneducated man but determined for what he decides. Resolute, दृढ़, determined होना. वो इलिटरेट जरूर था, लेकिन रिजोल्यूट था, डिटरमिन्ड था. He had come to the Congress session to complain about the injustice of the landlord system in Bihar. Bihar consists this district Champaran. Rajkumar Shukla had come to the convention of Congress party to complain, शिकायत करने के लिए, about the injustice in Bihar with peasants. किसानों के साथ जो injustice, जो अन्याय हो रहा था, उसके लिए शिकायत दर्ज कराने कांग्रेस पार्टी के लिए आए थे. Now, and somebody had probably said, speak to Gandhi, and he was also suggested by somebody else, just speak to Gandhi ji, maybe he'll definitely help you. हो सकता है कि वो तुम्हारी मदद करे. So Rajkumar Shukla went to Gandhiji and spoke whatever he thought to complain. जो भी उसको कहना था वो गांधी जी से मिलने के बाद बताता है. गांधी जी told Shukla he had an appointment in Kanpur and was also committed to go to other parts of India. Gandhi ji told Rajkumar Shukla that he had an appointment in Kanpur. The spelling of Kanpur has given C-A-W Kanpur. Okay, it is nowadays known as Kanpur. Okay, it is known nowadays as Kanpur. And also committed to go to other parts of India. Shukla accompanied him everywhere. Shukla was determined to accompany Mr. Gandhi, and he went everywhere, wherever Gandhi ji went. जहां जहां गांधी जी गए, हर जगह शुक्ला उनके साथ साथ गए. इससे साबित होता है that he was very resolute. वो बहुत ही दृढ़ प्रतिज्ञ इंसान था कि उसने प्रतिज्ञा किया था कि गांधी जी को मुझे अपने डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेके जाना है. So he was staying with him. तो फिर वो उनके साथ ठहर रहा था, रुक रहा था, और जहां जहां गांधी जी जा रहे थे वहां वहां शुक्ला जी भी जा रहे थे. Now, then Gandhi returned to his ashram near Ahmedabad. Shukla followed him to the ashram. For weeks he never left Gandhi's side. When Gandhi ji came back to his ashram near Ahmedabad, Shukla was accompanied, and he never left the side of Gandhi ji for a week. He had been staying for a week along with Gandhi ji. वो लगभग एक हफ्ते से गांधी जी के साथ रह रहे थे. Fix a date he begged. Rajkumar Shukla begged requestfully that please sir, fix a date. When will you be in Champaran? कब आप चंपारण में होंगे, कब चंपारण आएंगे, प्लीज एक डेट फिक्स करिए. राजकुमार शुक्ला इम्प्रेस्ड गांधी जी. गांधी जी को उसने इम्प्रेस कर ही लिया, एंड फाइनली गांधी जी डिसाइडेड टू विजिट चंपारण डिस्ट्रिक्ट. Impressed by the sharecroppers' tenacity and story, Gandhiji said, "I have to be in Calcutta on such and such a day. Come and meet me and check me from there." Gandhiji told Rajkumar Shukla that I will be having such days to visit in Calcutta, and just come over there and meet me and receive me from there. I'll come, or I'll go with you to Champaran. मैं चंपारण तुम्हारे साथ चलूंगा. Months passed. Shukla was sitting on his haunches at the appointed spot in Calcutta when Gandhiji arrived. Months passed. महीनों बीत गए. Rajkumar Shukla was sitting on his haunches. Haunches, it is a kind of position, you can say, in which people take their chin on their both knees. Okay? दोनों घुटने पर अपनी चीन को टिका करके बैठने की जो पोजीशन होती है उसी को बोलते हैं हॉन्चेस. मतलब वो अपने पैरों पर, एक बेंच था, एक बेंच पर बैठ करके अपने पैरों के ऊपर घुटने पर अपनी चीन को लाकर बैठे होते हैं और वेट कर रहे होते हैं when गांधी जी will arrive over there. Meanwhile, गांधी जी arrived there. गांधी जी वहां पहुंचते हैं. He waited till Gandhiji was free. Then Rajkumar Shukla was waiting till the moment when Gandhiji will be free. गांधी जी कब खाली होंगे तब तक राजकुमार शुक्ला उनका इंतजार करते हैं. Then the two of them boarded a train for the city of Patna in Bihar. Two of them. Finally, Rajkumar Shukla agreed Mr. Gandhiji to come along with him, and both men took up a train to city of Patna in Bihar. Patna is situated in Bihar, and they took the train for arriving over there. वो वहाँ पटना जाने वाली एक ट्रेन को पकड़ते हैं और दोनों आदमी उस ट्रेन से सफर करते हुए पटना आते हैं. Now, there Shukla led him to the house of a lawyer named Rajendra Prasad, who later became the president of the Congress Party and of India. Rajendra Prasad. He later became the president of India in Congress Party. As you know, you have heard the name of Rajendra Prasad. Okay, the first president of India. Rajkumar Shukla took him, led him, whom? Gandhiji, to a lawyer. एक वकील हुआ करते थे उन दिनों. He had been a prominent lawyer in those days. Who? Mr. Rajendra Prasad. Rajkumar Shukla led him to Rajendra's house. He was a prominent lawyer in those days. And Rajendra Prasad was out of town at the time when Rajkumar Shukla led Mahatma Gandhiji to Rajendra's house. Rajendra was not there. He was out of town. वो शहर के बाहर थे. But the servants knew Shukla as a poor human who pestered their master to help the indigo sharecroppers. But the servants of Rajendra's house were well known to the human. Human means farmer, garib aadmi, poor aadmi, who pestered their master, always requested, begged their master. Master refers to Rajendra Prasad. He was the master of his servants, to solve the problem, to appeal the case in the court. Mostly, he came to Rajendra's house, begging to appeal, to fight against the contract. उस कॉन्ट्रैक्ट के खिलाफ लड़ने के लिए जो राजकुमार शुक्ला थे वो बार बार आया करते थे. किसके घर? राजेंद्र प्रसाद के घर, क्योंकि वो एक प्रोमिनेंट लॉयर हुआ करते थे उन दिनों. एंड लेटर बाद में वो इंडिया के प्रेसिडेंट भी बने. तो सर्वेंट्स उनको भली भांति जानते थे, अच्छी तरह जानते थे कि ये एक किसान है जिसका नाम राजकुमार शुक्ला है, क्योंकि ऑफन उनका जाना होता था राजेंद्र प्रसाद के घर. अब what happens later? So they let him stay on the grounds with his companion. So the servants of Rajendra's house let them stay. Whom? Rajkumar Shukla, and he was accompanied by Gandhiji. So Gandhi was also there along with him. Gandhiji भी थे. They allowed them to stay on the grounds. जमीन पर ही बैठने की बात हुई, क्योंकि राजकुमार शुक्ला एक किसान हुआ करते थे. अब, on the grounds company, Gandhiji, whom they took to be another peasant, and the servants of Rajan's house considered Gandhiji as another peasant along with Rajkumar Shukla. Maybe Rajkumar Shukla was a peasant, so he will definitely come along with another peasant, nobody else. तो उनको लगता है कि ये भी कोई किसान ही होगा, कोई फार्मर होगा. गांधी जी किसान की तरह लगते भी थे क्योंकि उनका पहनावा बहुत ही सामान्य था, बहुत ही कॉमन था. But Gandhiji was not permitted to draw water from the well, lest some drops from his bucket pollute the entire source. In those days, you can say the sense, some anti-social issues like untouchability, casteism, and categorization, ये सारी चीजें उन दिनों बहुत ही हावी थी. Okay, it took obstruse place up to the root in those days. ये जो छुआछूत की बीमारी थी, जो भावनाएं थी, जो कंजर्वेटिव थिंकिंग थी सोसाइटी की, ये उन दिनों बहुत ही चरम पर थी. आज थोड़ी सी कम हो गई, लेकिन महात्मा गांधी जी को मना कर दिया गया. He was denied to take water from him because list of drops from his bucket will pollute the whole water, entire water. पूरा जो पानी होगा, हो सकता है उसकी बकेट से गिरा हुआ कुछ बूंद पानी पूरे पानी को पल्यूट कर दे. सोचिए कि एक किसान, एक गरीब के बकेट से निकला हुआ पानी, टपका हुआ पानी पूरे पानी को पोल्यूट कर देगा। हाउ कंजर्वेटिव थिंकिंग दे हैव, कितनी रूढ़िवादी सोच उन लोगों की थी उन दिनों। बट हाउ डिड दे नो दैट ही वाज नॉट एन अनटचेबल? वो जानते भी कैसे कि गांधी जी एक अनटचेबल नहीं है? अनटचेबल मीन्स छुआछूत। He belongs to a low caste, you can say निम्न तबके से बिलोंग करने वाला इंसान। वो जानते भी कैसे? Because गांधी जी was accompanied by a poor peasant, क्योंकि वो एक गरीब किसान के साथ थे, उनका पहनावा भी बहुत अच्छा नहीं था, इसलिए उन सर्वेंट्स को यही लगा कि राजकुमार शुक्ला के साथ जो आदमी है वो भी एक किसान ही है, इसलिए उन्होंने उनको बकेट से पानी लेने के लिए मना कर दिया। अब आगे अगले एपिसोड में हम पढ़ेंगे। दैट्स इट फॉर दिस डे। हैव नाइस डे टू एवरीवन।